Right, so we are living in very, very, very disturbing times. And for people who don't think that what I'm saying is true and the times we are living in, they don't think they're disturbing. An example of how I think these times are disturbing is, for starters, you can just look at our media. Now take a look at our media. An example I'm going to give you, there's two examples, and this describes our reality in a nutshell for me. Now you've got, in the UK, you've got, I'm going to name two actual medias. Now I'm going to give you the Daily Mail Online, and I'm also going to point out the Sun newspaper as well. Now these two entities, these two media entities, okay, the way they give you the news. Now I myself, I don't read any newspapers, don't listen to the radio, I don't watch the TV. I see a few bits of pieces online, but there are some that I turn away from because I don't want that in my consciousness, because it's almost as if someone else's crime becomes your crime if you get too down and get too deep into it. So what I was going to give you the example of, the Sun newspaper and the Daily Mail Online. So you've got them giving you pieces of news, and it's either real news or it's propaganda or it's out and out lies. And at the same time, on their website or in their paper, this is how twisted life has become in my eyes. So in their paper or on their website, they're giving you all this information and news. Now you may see pictures of, I've seen one picture, somebody sent me an email without a warning, so I do now have that on my consciousness as well, in my mind, where I didn't want it or need it. So the Sun newspaper, they're going to be giving you stories of people being killed. You're going to have pictures of whatever pictures they're going to use on that day. You've got really, you know, maybe there's children that have been killed, whatever pictures they're going to use. Same on the Daily Mail, okay, UK, Daily Mail Online. Now these papers, they are going to show you dead children, all right? They're going to show you killings and massacres. And at the same time, they're going to be showing you naked women with it as well in this paper. And within this same sort of mind frame that you're in of these other things you've just seen. So they're mixing. So you've got death on one side. And then on the other side, you've got all this salaciousness. You've got the naked women. You've got all the other stuff. Same on the Daily Mail UK, yeah? Daily Mail Online. So what they're doing at the moment in our media, in our world, right, is they are trying to merge. They're trying to merge different sorts of energies and different sorts of emotions so that you become desensitized and you now link death and sex together. Okay? And you've also got the same thing going on with the raping of children, you know, paedophiles. Here in the UK, we are governed and run. Don't get it twisted, and don't ever forget this. We are governed and run by a ring of paedophiles. Okay? We've got paedophiles in the police. We've got paedophiles in the government. We've got paedophiles in the councils. We've got paedophiles in the churches. We've got paedophiles in the schools. We've got paedophiles at home, in homes. All right? And then when you look around you, when you look at the media and what they're trying to do and what sort of mindset and where they're trying to put you, it's always in a sexual place. Whether it's a sexual place and they're giving you stories about paedophilia, there's a sexual place where they're giving you information and stories about deaths and killings and children being maimed and shot, in the same space where they're putting all this sexualization at the same time. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you're aware that laws have been changed and propaganda is now legal, as soon as you understand that, okay, you don't have to now give your energy to any of these things. And what I mean by that is I can still give some information because I'm aware of a story, I'll read it. But then what I do is I don't look at the pictures. I don't read the parts where they want you to have all this craziness in your mind, okay? So it's like you're almost taking part in their crimes by getting all the little details, thinking about all the little details, looking at the pictures they want you to see. They want your whole energy in this zone. And me, personally, I have stepped away from all that. Like I said, I'm not reading the bits they want that are written so salaciously. The way they are written, some of these pieces, the glamorization of death, at the same time glamorizing sexuality as well. The same place that you're giving me all this bad news, you're also giving me, so they want your mind in two places at the same time. This is to desensitize a human being. This is to throw a human being. This is to make you, some people are unaware that this is happening to them. Our reality didn't used to be like this. It didn't used to be like this. They didn't used to show the amount of graphic, how can I put it? It looks like you could have just put on a movie. You're going to see some of these things now they're portraying in the news. People used to watch violent films and things like that, and getting a kick out of watching people be violent against another human being. And you know what, I've always hated films like that, and I couldn't understand why people would enjoy them so much. This is going back in the day. Some of the films, and they were very, very big films, a lot of violence and a lot of death and a lot of, sometimes graphically sexual violence against women especially, and that was entertainment. And that was entertainment for some people, and I could never understand it then. And those sort of movies do put you into a mindset. They put you into this energy. They do put you into this vibe. Some people deny that and say, well, I've never gone and done any of those things. And, which is true. A lot of people can watch films like that. And obviously they don't go and do stuff. But there are some people that do watch films like that. And they do go and act upon them. Or it has affected them in a way in their minds. And they do not yet know that they are affected until later on down in their life. They have been affected by all these things they've seen. Some of you guys out there began to be desensitized from a very young age because you were watching these kind of movies, you were playing these kind of games. Our society has just become violence and sex. That is it. It's just death and sex. Those are your two options in life. Everything is sexualized. There is nothing left to the imagination anymore. We have got, in this world at the moment, children as young as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, up, okay? They are raping their friends. They are raping their brothers and sisters. They are doing things, okay? They are going to school and they are acting out what they are seeing around them in their lives, what they are seeing in film and what they are seeing in news and what they are seeing in the papers, and everything they think is real. The children today, the line has been so blurred for these children. So blurred. And then they look around at the adults. What are the adults doing? What are the adults doing? Let's have a look at what the adults are doing. Now, the adults are either watching the violent films or the adults are sitting there playing the violent games. And the children are watching this. The children can see all this. The children are aware of pornography online. All they have to do is click a button to say that they are over 18. There's a lot of clever children out there that know exactly how to get to the porn online. And then they're acting it out. They're going to school and they're being very sexual. A lot of children are being, doing this at school. You look it up yourself. Go online and find out. We are sexualizing the future. We are making the future violent. We are taking away emotion and care. This is an immoral society. Children in the next 10 years that are growing up now, 10, 15 years, I can't even imagine what life is going to be like then. I can't imagine. So me personally, I turn away from it all. I turn away from what mainstream media want me to see and want me to have in my mind and within my heart, okay? I turn away from it all. Yet I realise and I understand that most of it is propaganda and a lot of it is lies. The stuff they can do in Hollywood, okay? They're now starting to do this kind of stuff in reality and calling it our news. You can go ahead and call me nuts for saying that if you like. You can go ahead and think whatever you like about me, because at the end of the day, I really don't care. I have reached this point in my life and I understand and I see what's going on, and I am not going to be taking this stuff into my being anymore. But like I said, I do realise that it's all propaganda. I shall not be going through every detail with a fine toothpick because I'm not putting my energies into this. The Smith-Mundt Act was changed to say that they can now use propaganda against the world. And you need to understand that, because once you understand that, it puts you in a better place. And your mindset and your frame of mind is just of understanding. It's not of confusion. It's not of anger. It's not of fear. All right? And the sexualization of children. They're also trying to do that with violence as well. Because the number of children that are being violent is going up too. So it's a sad state of affairs. But once you know and understand what this state of affairs are, then you don't be affected by it. You don't have to be affected by it. I'm sure you guys have noticed I don't make videos every single day about these issues. I don't talk about these issues every single day. I'm not going to take time out of my, excuse me, I'm not going to take time out of my life so that I'm sitting there soaking in all these energies that they want us to have. And the kind of people that are soaking in the energies even more, okay, are the ones that see. The ones that see are the ones that are being most affected by it. The people who don't see are the ones that are they're just desensitized. That's it. They just go along their way, just going along their happy way. Not too bothered about what's going on to their neighbour, i.e. another country. You know, if I'm happy, Jack, I'm fine. You know, what can we do? Why should we worry about them? You know, they're not being affected. They're going on as they've always gone along, you know, quite happy, quite blissful, quite ignorant. But it's us kind of people that the energies are starting to affect. And you can go down that road, the road they want you to go down. Or you can stop and see, and then what you do is you try and help people, because that's what my channel will now be about. I'm going to try to help people who see, like, how do you deal with it, how do you cope, what do you do to make life easier, how do you disconnect from what they want you to feel, the energies they put around us. Certain channels I can't watch anymore. I just can't watch anymore. Because they have just gone down this tunnel. It's like Groundhog Day. And there needs to be a break. Otherwise, you are just becoming like mainstream media. You're taking on the story that they want us to take on. taking on the energies that they want us to take on, and then what you're doing is your energies and your vibes you then pass on to other people by going through every little fine piece of detail that they want you to go through, and then to share that vibe, share that energy, and then to desensitize, but to also affect you on an emotional level. Your whole being is then affected by it. So pulling away whilst also seeing truth is important. And to find happiness within your life while all this stuff is going on is also important. Because what's the point of being a truther and seeing all this stuff, but you've got a miserable life? What is the point of that? Yes, we see and we understand, but why should we then suffer? Because we've been able to see through all their lies and their propaganda. No, bullshit. So I hope I've made sense. And I hope I've helped at least one person will understand what I'm talking about. Disconnect from them whilst also knowing what they're doing. One love.